Hi, I'm Eleanor with Soap Storylines, all strictly on the QT. Shh! Yusuf has news for the self-righteous Zainab. She's a hypocrite for disowning Saeed when she shamed her own family by divorcing him. It makes her doubt herself for a millisecond, and she tries to talk to Saeed but can't bring herself to. But who's on the end of her mystery phone call? Eventually Zainab meets Saeed. It's like an East End peace summit. But Masood is furious, especially when they both stand up to him. Zainab swallows her pride and tells Yusuf she will take up his offer of a loan, but Maz vows to find the money rather than take his charity. In soaps, there's only one way to make quick cash: the bookies. And in time-honoured fashion, Maz wins, then loses a small fortune. When the bailiffs come calling, Maz realises he only really has one option. Albert Square's hardly going to miss out on a royal wedding, proper cockneys that they are, so Fatboy weaves his magic with Mercy. Just as she tells Fatboy that Seb has dumped her, she's approached by a border agency bloke who informs her she has to leave the UK. Fatboy is devastated to learn she's leaving, but he stops her cab as the Square watch Kate and William marry and gets down on one knee. What are the chances of that? Up we head to Weatherfield. There's a special soap, Bubble, in Weatherfield on Sunday, with Sean catching a bit of the royal lustre by heading down to London. He's down to see Violet and Jamie, but most especially his son Dylan. And wouldn't you just know it, he bumps into his ex, Marcus. Cue tender reunion. Meanwhile, Todd Grimshaw is back too, in Weatherfield, to introduce his rich new boyfriend to Eileen. Elsewhere, John Stape has turned up at Charlotte's parents but breaks down on them. Fears is alarmed when they call her. John tries to justify his being there by fobbing them off with a story about Charlotte's obsession with him, but Ches is highly suspicious of his intent. Sheen and Graham are growing closer, much to Tina's irritation, while Tommy's trying to chat up the seemingly single Tina. But Mary grasses Jean into immigration, and she does a runner to protect Graham, begging him to lie that he was tricked into the wedding. Terrified at going back to prison, he disappears with a repentant Mary in her motorhome, though he returns soon enough to accuse Tina of getting it on with Tommy. As always, Sheen's there to comfort the poor lamb. You're right to be wary, Tina. Finally, we're in Emmerdale. It's like Guy Fawkes night in Jimmy King's head right now. The flashbacks are coming faster than the Large Hadron Collider. First, Kelly's shaken when he recalls bringing poorly Angelica home from hospital. Then he recalls Kelly hitting him with the torch. Kelly's getting anxious, especially when Carl convinces his brother to wait before he files for divorce from Nicola. But a playful cushion fight with Kelly brings up the torch round the head incident, and while she says it's all in his mind, others hear about it and urge him to go to the police. Poor confused Jimmy, it's information overload. When Nicola arrives for a showdown, it's all too much. He pushes her out the door and closes it to all. All except Kelly. She tries to undo the damage, but over a glass of wine reveals that she really did hit him, causing the amnesia. Ella is continuing her Mrs. Robinson routine with Adam, who's confused when she switches her attention back to Declan. What is she playing at? Rona has bad news for Marlon, who's hopeful of caring for the baby twice a week. But when he makes public that the baby has Downs, she hits the roof and gives the eager dad-to-be some bad news.